exception handling. See, Python exception handling. First, what is exception? What is exception? The notes I will provide. Observe my explanation. What is exception? An exception is an event which occurs during the execution of a program that disrupts the normal flow of the program's instructions. Observe, Savita. An exception is an event. When it occurs?
During programming, sir.
Not during programming. During execution of a program.
Okay, sir.
Right? See, we have different stages. Writing program, executing program. During writing program, we may get syntax errors. Okay. Suppose if you have syntax errors, if you try to run that program or run or execute synonyms, if you try to run that program, it won't run. After rectifying syntax errors, you can run that one. Suppose in your program some runtime errors are there, they won't show, they won't disturb. You can execute your program, but instead of pass or fail status, or instead of getting desired output, you will get error, interruption, execution interruption. Getting this point?
Sir.
See, observe. An exception is an event. See, this exception handling is a common concept. This exception handling is there in every program. You take C, C++, Java, Python, Perl, Ruby, Rex, any programming language. The exception handling is there to handle runtime errors. First, what is exception? An exception is an event which occurs during the execution of a program that disrupts the normal flow of the program's instructions. Okay, which it occurs. See, exception. What is the source for exception? If you have, see, in program, observe types of errors. Types of errors in computer programming. Programs. Say we have different types of errors. Some are saying syntax error, logical error, etc. But basically, syntax errors, logical errors, runtime errors, etc. But basically, two categories of errors. What are they? One is syntax errors, or you can say system grammar. Syntax means system grammar. Okay, syntax errors, or you can say compile time. Just a minute. Compile time errors. Next category, runtime errors. Runtime errors. Syntax errors, runtime errors. Another name is runtime, compile time, runtime errors. Okay, now syntax errors. What is syntax errors? System grammar errors. For example, Python is case-sensitive language. Python is case-sensitive language. Suppose if you print print of, suppose, hello Python, print of hello Python. What is this?
So
Here
P
error
should be
is there. What is this error?
P should be
Pardon?
small, sir.
Okay. I am asking type of error.
Syntax error, sir.
Syntax error. Syntax error. Observe. Suppose first save this one. Run module. It will highlight in editor only. Editor. Run.
Yes.
Oh, name error. Print. It has to show in editor now. It is showing this one. Name error. Okay, it is built-in function now. It is
Okay,
built-in function. Just a minute. Suppose if x greater than y, x greater than y, I'm first using pass keyword. Just a minute. Run blank. Oh,
last
line 1. Python.py. X greater than y. X is not defined. Okay, just a minute. X equals to 100. Y equals to some 90. Run module blank. No error. Suppose observe this. I am removing this pass. Pass keyword. It leaves incomplete code. Now observe. Is it incomplete code or complete code?
complete, sir.
Incomplete. We started if block, if
Yes, sir.
condition structure, but we didn't write
Statement.
body comment. That what is that one?
Statement.
Block body. Okay,
Okay, sir.
statements. Body, not body. We didn't write the body. So incomplete syntax. Incomplete syntax leads to errors now.
Yes, sir.
Run error now.
Yes, sir.
Error. If statement online. Error.
Syntax error.
Syntax error. Just a minute. Suppose pass. Save. Run module. Nothing. Now just a minute. Run. No error. No error now.
Sir.
But I used it. Otherwise, you do one thing. Write one statement. Suppose I will explain what is pass.
Okay, sir.
Print. Suppose x is big number. X is big number. Okay. That's it. Enough. I didn't try to else part. One-way
Yes, sir.
condition. It is one-way condition. It is also complete. It is one
Yes.
simple. One-way condition. Suppose observe the condition. Is it true or false?
True, sir.
True. It will execute the statement. What is that one? X is big number. X is big number. Next, suppose y 900. Y 900. Y 900. Now observe condition. Is it true or false? False. Condition false means no else part.
Yes, sir.
It will bypass the condition. No output. Bypass the
Yes.
condition. Okay, now?
Yes, sir.
See, this is observe. no error, no error. Next, syntax error, no error. Next, syntax error. Just a minute. Suppose save, run module. Now observe.
This time syntax error.
Highlighted in editor only, not in result console. Result console
sir.
blank. Highlighted
Yes,
in editor, program editor only. Earlier print is built in function. It is keyword.
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is keyword. This is when we get syntax error, we may rectify that one. We may rectify that one. Suppose if we use PyCharm like IDE that provides syntax guidance.
Yes,
Suppose
sir.
in Java we use Eclipse IDE. Eclipse provides syntax guidance, but no guidance for runtime errors. Only syntax errors. But here we are using lightweight shell that is built in with Python installation. Shell doesn't show syntax errors. It doesn't provide syntax guidance. If you use commercial ID like PyCharm, Eclipse IDE, NetBeans, etc., they provide syntax guidance. Suppose if you don't get syntax guidance in Python shell, no issue. If you run this program, definitely it will stop the stop the execution. It won't run. First of all, it won't run.
Yes, sir.
After rectifying the syntax error only, it will run. Observe,
Yes, sir.
no activation in result window, result console. Okay.
Okay.
This is about system grammar error.
Okay, sir.
This is system grammar error. Just a minute. System error. What is that one? Syntax error. See, no error.
Syntax.
Next, syntax error. Next, runtime error. I will show runtime error. Before showing runtime error, I will introduce this pass. Pass is Python keyword to ignore the incomplete code. Suppose we wrote some code, but that is not completed. Ignore. It ignores incomplete code. Getting the point? Suppose it ignores incomplete code. Just a minute. Suppose print some hello Python. Hello Python. Suppose this is comment. Now incomplete code. Now we have 4 lines of code, 5 lines of code, including blank, but incomplete. I think run module.
One.
See, incompleted now.
Yes, sir.
Suppose if I use pass keyword, it will ignore the incomplete code. It will execute working code.
Okay, sir.
It will ignore the incomplete code. Run module. Hello Python. And it ignored if block. Getting the point?
Yes. Yes, sir. Got it, sir.
What is the what is pass statement? Pass is keyword.
Keyword. It ignores the incomplete coding, sir.
Just a minute. So, note. For highlighting this keyword, I'm using single quote. Don't use quotes in programming. Pass keyword ignores
incomplete.
Ignores the incomplete code. Otherwise, it will show error.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, incomplete code, code with no errors, code with syntax errors, code with runtime error, code with runtime error. Just a minute. Suppose x equals to 10, y equals to 5. Suppose print x by y. Print x by y. It returns floating point output. What is the output? 2.0.
0, sir.
Run module 2.0. Okay, now
Okay, sir.
suppose 0. Any syntax error? No syntax error.
No, sir.
0 also value. But
Yes.
in general mathematics, something by 0 is infinity.
Yes, sir.
Programs can't handle infinity.
Mm-hmm.
So it leads to runtime error.
Runtime error.
Runtime error. I think observe. Zero division error. Division
Okay.
by 0. Runtime error na?
Yes, sir.
This is runtime error.
Okay, sir.
The error name is zero division error. Okay, now we discussed the incomplete code with no error using pass statement, pass keyword, next no error, next syntax error, next runtime error. Okay,
Yes, sir.
next
Okay.
come to mainstream. Exception handling. What is exception? An exception is an event which occurs just a minute. Occurs during execution of a program. It occurs during execution of a program. Why it occurs? Due to runtime error. Due to
Okay, sir.
why it occurs? See, observe. When it occurs. When it occurs.
It occurs.
It occurs during execution of a program.
Okay, sir.
When okay, when it occurs. Why? Why it occurs? Why it occurs? Due to runtime error. Due to runtime errors. One arm. Due to runtime errors in the program. Okay. Suppose if no runtime error in your program, then no exceptions. Okay.
That's fine.
What it does? What it does? Okay, it is occurring when during execution of a program due to runtime errors. What it does? Okay, it is occurring. Then what? It stops the execution. It stops the normal flow of execution. See, it disrupts. It disrupts the normal flow of execution. Means it stops the execution. Suppose you have 100 lines of code in your program. In 20th line, one runtime error is there.
Stops there.
It stops your program execution at 20th line. It won't execute. It executes 20 lines. It won't execute remaining 80 lines. Suppose if you provide exception handling code, it blocks that error it blocks that runtime error, then you can execute your
Remaining.
not remaining all statements in your program. Okay, remaining code.
Okay.
Means
Yeah.
if you handle runtime errors with the exception handling code, then
We
you
can get
can
the
execute
entire
all statements or instructions in your program. Okay,
program.
entire program. You can
Okay.
execute your entire program. And one more thing, observe. Exception handling code doesn't solve the problem, only blocks the error. Getting this point?
Yes, sir. Got it, sir.
It doesn't solve the problem. Suppose here observe, here you are reading x value and y value from external file. You are reading x value, y value. First time x value 10, y value 2, x by y 5.0. Second time x value 100, y value 0. That is runtime error. You can't solve that problem. You can't provide other value for y. That is illegal. That is incorrect.
Okay.
You can block that. You can block that error and continue remaining program execution.
Okay.
Getting the point? What it does? What it does?
Disrupts the normal flow of execution.
It disrupts the normal flow of execution. Means simply you can say it
Stops.
stops the program execution. Okay. How to
Avoid.
know? First, how to know it means how you know that runtime errors. If it is syntax error, if you are using PyCharm, Eclipse like IDE, it will provide the syntax guidance. It will mark the red color. Like suppose if you are using Python, ideally Python shell is lightweight. While if you try to execute the program, you can get syntax errors. Then you can rectify. Otherwise, you can't execute. But how to know runtime errors? How to know runtime errors? Here observe. I am reading data. Suppose I don't know about the data. This is okay. I don't know about the data. Suppose second record or third record y is 0, something by 0 infinity. How I know that one? By conducting dry run. Dry run means sample run of the program. See,
Yes, sir.
whenever you prepare a program, first you need to conduct a dry run. Dry run
Yes,
means sample run. What is the purpose of sample run? To make sure whether the program is executing without errors or not.
Yes, sir.
Next, real run. Real run means what is the purpose of real run? To get desired output.
Yes, sir.
Okay. How to know runtime errors?
By
How to
conducting
know
run.
runtime errors? By
Conducting dry run or sample run.
conducting dry runs. Real time term. Program run. Two stages: dry run,
Yes.
real run. Dry run, real run. In software testing also, dry test, real test. Dry test purpose to make sure the test case is executing without errors. Real test purpose is getting pass or fail states. Okay. How to know? Next, how to handle. How to know? Okay, by conducting dry runs, you can get. Okay. How to handle runtime errors? Using exception handling, exception handling code using exception handling code. Okay. And one more thing, even though we insert exception handling code, suppose if no error, suppose today we are reading data from an external file, some exception is there. We provided exception, arithmetic exception, that divided by 0 exception. But tomorrow we are that file data changed, no error, but we inserted exception handling code, no issue. Even though we insert, observe this point carefully, Savita.
Okay, sir.
See,
Even though we have.
even though we insert exception handling code for a program, it uses for exception scenario. Exception scenario. It doesn't fire for passed scenario. Suppose first record no exception, it won't fire. Second record exception, it will fire. Getting this point?
Okay, sir. Got it.
Even though we insert exception handling code, it won't be fired for passed scenario.
Yes. Okay.
Only failed scenario.
Okay. Okay,
Next,
sir.
observe. Now I think you are familiar with
Yes, sir.
this description.
Yes.
When it occurs, why it occurs, what it does, how to know runtime errors, how to handle. Next, exemption also there. Suppose if you insert exception handling code, for example, if there is no exception for future scenarios, no
issues. Yes, sir.
what is that one? No issue.
Yes, sir.
No issue. Okay. Next, observe. Common scenarios. And one more thing, general point, Savita. We discussed the syntax error, runtime error. Next one, human error. I will show human error. Okay.
Okay.
Suppose observe human errors. Suppose I want my desired output is 100. My desired output is, suppose, desired output, or my expected output is 100. Getting 90. Getting 90. It's syntax error or runtime error. If it is syntax error, you can't get output. First of all, you can't execute your program.
Yes, sir.
First thing. If it is runtime error, you can't get output.
Yes, sir.
Execution interruption. But you are getting output, but your expected output is 100. Getting 90.
Yes.
Suppose at one point of time, human error, at one point of time, I have to use x equals to, just a minute. At one point of time, I have to use result equals to x plus y. This is my desired formula. Result equals to x plus y. Mistakenly I used asterisk symbol. This point of time I used asterisk symbol instead of addition symbol. Is it syntax error?
No, sir.
Is it runtime error?
No, sir.
It is not either syntax error or runtime error. Human error. Human
Yes, sir.
error. See,
Yes.
program evaluates as per that operator, but that operator is not right for your program.
Yes, sir.
That doesn't know about that doesn't know the program. Okay,
Okay.
this is human error. Now, are you
Okay.
familiar with human
Yes,
error,
sir.
no error, syntax error, runtime
Runtime
error?
error.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Next, common scenarios. Common scenarios. Common exceptions. Common exceptions in Python. Python. I will introduce two or three exceptions. For other exceptions also, solution is same, almost
Okay.
same.
Okay,
Almost.
sir.
First zero division. Zero division error. Single word. Zero division error, single word. It occurs when a number is divided by zero.
Zero.
Getting the point? Notes I will provide. It
Yes.
occurs when it occurs.
Number
It
divided by
occurs
zero.
when a number is divided by zero. In general mathematics, something by zero is infinity. Program can't handle infinity. Okay.
Okay.
Same equivalent in Java programming. Arithmetic exception. Arithmetic exception.
Okay.
Same in Python, zero division error. Okay. Next, name error. Name error. Name error. It occurs when a name is not found. It may be local or global. For example, you have 200 lines of code. 200 lines of code. In second line or third line, you declared one variable. Variable name is country. 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 In 190th line, you are accessing that variable. You are using that variable in one calculation. Instead of COUNTRY, you are using CONTY. That is name error, na?
Yes, sir.
Name error. When it occurs. Notes I will provide. Just it occurs when a name is not found. It may be local or global. Local variable or global variable.
Okay.
Next, index error. Index error. Object index out of range. Object index out of range. Suppose you have one list or set or tuple. Suppose one object is there with 10 items, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Suppose you are accessing items with index. Index is 1. It will return second item. First item
Yes.
0. It will return second item. Suppose if you are using 4, index 4, it will return fifth item. Suppose you are using 20, it has to return, it has to write 21st item. But
Sir.
there are no 20
First
items.
item.
There are
Then
only
range.
10 items. Then that is error, na?
Sir. Range is beyond.
Range. Object index out of range. Out of range.
Right.
Next, indentation. Indentation. Code indentation. What is indentation? Python uses code indentation. Indentation means
Yes.
spaces before statement.
Yes, sir.
Spaces before statements. Python uses code
And it,
indentation before block statements. Code block statements.
yes, sir.
If block, else block,
Yes.
elif block, for block, while block, etc. Code indentation. If it is Java, no code indentation.
It's
In
code readable.
Java, we may use that blank space, that blank lines are white spaces. for readability, but no meaning for that. But in Python, that is syntax. Code indentation means indentation means spaces before code statement, block statements. Suppose if you are not following correct indentation, that is, if incorrect indentation is given, next IO single word IOError. It occurs when input output operation fails. Next, suppose EOF error. EOF stands for end of the file. It occurs when the end of the file is reached. This EOF abbreviation is same for every programming. EOF stands for end of the file. It occurs when the end of the file is reached and yet operations are being performed, etc. I will provide examples for 2 or 3 exceptions. Same process can be applied for others. Observe. See. Python. Observe. A Python program. A Python program with no exceptions. With no exceptions. Any runtime error is there, you can get the exception. If no runtime errors, no exceptions. Just a minute. Suppose I already told now.
Yes, sir. 0.
Read the data x equals to suppose int of, I want to read only in integer type data. Input of enter num1. Enter num1. Okay. We open 2 round brackets, close 2 round brackets.
Yes, sir.
Next, y equals to same. Just a minute. Enter num2.
2.
Next,
G is equal
suppose
to
print x by y. Print x by y. Save the program. Run module num1 suppose 100, num2 suppose 20. What is the output? 100 by 20, 5.0. It returns a floating point.
Yes, sir.
5.0. Okay. Now no exception.
Yes, sir.
No exception.
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, here you can use hard-coded values. Just a minute. Y suppose 10. Now no exception now.
Sir.
It will return
10.0.
No exception.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I am using this one. This time you may get the exception. Suppose if you use num2 as 0, run module.
ZeroDivisionError.
10, 0. This time definitely it will write ZeroDivisionError.
Error.
Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
ZeroDivisionError. Next, see. Python program with
ZeroDivisionError.
exception handling code. Python, for example, observe Just a minute. Here, no error. Suppose this is zero division error, no?
Yes, sir.
There is a run. Just a minute. Zero division error.
That's right.
Zero division error. Exception with the exception handling code I am providing. Here, just a minute. First syntax. 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 Just a minute. Suppose print hello Python. Next print I'm a Python programmer. I'm a Python programmer. Now observe Savita. In the small program, just a minute, save this one. How many outputs are there in the small program? How many outputs are there? 3 outputs.
3.
Run module. Suppose 10. For first output input required. Suppose 4.
Input required.
First output 2.5. Second output hello Python. Third output I'm a Python programmer. 3 outputs now.
Yes,
in this
sir.
program, 3 outputs. So suppose just assume we have 100 lines of code. Interruption is there. Just a minute. Run module. 3 outputs in this program. 1,
Yes, sir.
0. Say first output runtime error leaded to exception. What about second output? Where is second output? Where is my third output?
Yes, sir.
Execution stopped.
Okay.
If you want to execute your entire program, first block the runtime error.
Okay, sir.
No solving the error. Block
Just
the error. Stop
yes.
the block the error means hold the error and execute the remaining program. How to block the error? Using exception handling code. Using exception handling code. Observe syntax. See, try is Python keyword. In Java also try.
Okay.
Try. Next, code block or statements. Just a minute. Statements. Next, else colon. Next, statements. Next, other statements. See, this is the syntax. Apply this syntax for the above program. Apply the other syntax. Apply that syntax. Suppose we are getting problem here. before X, use try, colon, follow the indentation,
Y also.
okay. Print X by Y, okay. Next,
Please, okay.
except, here, this is except, else also you can use after that one, except. What is our except? Suppose if you are getting correct output, that is okay. Otherwise, except keyword, except print can't divide with 0. Just a message, any
Okay.
meaningful message. Can't divide with 0. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Next, remaining code.
Okay.
See, I'm blocking the error. It will execute entire program.
Yes,
Earlier, it stopped at the first output and didn't execute second and third outputs. Now observe,
we
save,
get 3 out.
3 outputs. Run module. Suppose error 10 by 0. It blocks the error.
Yes, sir.
Blocks the error now. Can't
Yes,
divided with
with
0.
0.
But I'm getting hello Python. I am Python programmer. All
Yes,
out.
sir.
What is the meaning?
Yes.
Entire program executed.
Yes, sir.
Next, observe. Even though we insert exception handling code, suppose 10 by 4. Now no exception.
Yeah, as usual.
As usual, 2.5. Hello Python. I am a Python program.
Okay.
Suppose if except next record, if exception is there, suppose 1 by 0. This time it will provide the message can't divide with 0, and it will execute remaining statements. Why? We blocked that error.
Okay, sir. Got it, sir.
Getting this one?
Yes, sir.
This is exception handling code with try
0.
and except blocks. Try and except blocks. Try and except blocks. Or just I am changing this code. You can try. Suppose you can use else part also. This one. Else part also.
Okay, sir.
Suppose try. Next. Else. This is one syntax you can use. Suppose if exception is there, fire use this one. If no exception, use else part.
Okay, sir.
Getting the understand the code?
Yes, sir. Got it.
Execute this one. If exception is there, just a minute. How it get exception? X by Y. Suppose C. Getting?
Yes, sir. X by Y. Print Z.
Suppose if no exception, use else part. Print Z. Suppose if exception is there, use can't divided with 0. Okay. See, I am using try except else blocks. 3 blocks.
Okay.
Try
Okay.
except else. This is one structure. Earlier we used only try except.
Except.
Run module. Observe 10. 2. I think no exception required now.
Sir.
It will execute else part.
Else part. Yes.
5.0. Hello Python. I am Python programmer. Next run. Suppose 100, 0. It will execute except block and the
Yes.
remaining code.
No other code.
Can't divided with 0. Hello Python. I am Python programmer. Anyhow, we blocked the exception. We blocked the runtime error. Okay.
Okay. Okay, sir.
This is one structure. Next, I will show another example. Okay. What is this one? 0. What is this exception?
Wait.
First exception. Zero division error. In
Yes.
Java, it is arithmetic exception. Example 2. Just a minute. First one. Where is that one? Where I started. Examples.
Exception.
Example 1. Example 1 is zero division error. Zero division error. Next example 2 is for this one, name error.
Yes.
First I will show index error. Next name error. Okay, index error. Okay, index error. Create a program. Index. Create object. Object. Data structure or collection. Suppose my list.
Yes.
My list also one of the collection na?
Yes, sir.
My list also one of the collection. You can use any object, list
Okay.
object or tuple object or
Set.
set object or dictionary object
Yes, sir.
or dictionary object. My list equals to how we create my list using square brackets.
Square bracket separated by commas.
Then separated by commas for every data
Every.
structure.
Yes, sir.
Suppose 4.567. Suppose you can use different types of data for any Python data structure. Okay. Just print this one. Print
List. Print of my
my
list.
list. Print my list. Save. Run module. It is printing the list now.
Yes, sir.
Next, print index wise. Print index wise. Suppose you read index from keyboard. I equals to int of input of enter an index. Enter an index. Okay. Next, after entering the index, just a minute. Print of
Right.
my list by.
What's the pencil, sir?
It is not code indentation. Now, why it is following this one? I think it is not code indentation. Suppose we have some other statements. For example, two outputs. Okay, how many outputs are there in this program?
Sir, print of my list, that should be closed, I think, sir. Open parenthesis, close parenthesis.
Okay, good. Outputs. Run module. Oh, syntax error. One more. We open 2.
Yes, sir.
Run module. Enter index. Suppose 2. 2 means third value. What is third value?
What is, sir?
Third value. 10 is first value. 20 is second value. 30 is third value. Na?
Okay, sir.
Any problem?
Sir, indexes should start with the 0, 1, 2.
0. Yes. 0 means suppose 0, 10.
0,
1
10.
is 20. 2 is 30. Na?
Yes, sir. Okay.
You are telling 40.
Yeah. Okay, sir.
Now observe. 30 na?
Sir.
30.
3 outputs.
How many outputs are there in this program?
3 outputs.
4 outputs. First
Yeah.
printing list na?
Okay, sir. Okay.
Print list. Next
Okay.
printing particular index value na?
Yes, sir. 2.
Next printing hello Python. Printing I am a Python programmer. How many outputs?
Yes.
4 outputs.
4, sir.
4 outputs. Suppose run module. Suppose my index is 9. 9 means 10th value. Here how many values are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 means last index 5 na? 0 to 5.
Beyond the range.
Out of range na?
Yes, sir.
It printed first output.
Yes, sir.
It printed first output. Second output runtime error, index error. Observe index error. Where are my third and fourth outputs?
It's blocked.
Execution interrupted na?
Yes, sir.
So no third or fourth outputs. Now I want to block this error and get complete program execution. Third and fourth outputs. Okay.
Try.
Just a minute. Index error. This is with index error. Program with index error. Next program with exception handling code. I use
try print of
try.
my
Where try? This one.
after print of my list, sir.
Up to print of my list, no issue.
Yes, sir. After print of my list, we should try.
Try. Just a minute.
After print of my list.
Next. Here I'm using at beginning na. Just accept enough.
Yes. Accept.
No else required.
Yes, sir.
Accept. Suppose print object index out of range. Out of range. Next remaining outputs.
Okay, sir.
Observe. This is the code with exception handling. Just save the program. Run module. First output, okay. Next one, Savita. What is the expected output? No exception here.
No, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It will return 20 na. 1 means second value. 0, 1. 0 is 10. 1 is 20.
We'll get 4.
What are the remaining outputs?
Total 4 outputs, sir.
4 outputs. 20. Hello Python. I'm a Python programmer. Okay, na?
Okay, sir.
Now, no runtime error.
Yes, sir.
Suppose runtime error is there. It will block the error and get a complete execution. Complete program execution. Suppose 11. No 11. 11 means 12 values must be there. No 11. Object index out of range. Blocked that one. Next, third output. Hello Python. Last output. I am a Python programmer. stopped
Okay,
the,
sir.
it blocked the error now.
Yes, sir.
This is the usage
Index.
of exception handling code. Use
Okay,
of
sir.
exception handling code. This is program with exception handling code. I will show one more small example. Name error is there now. Name
Yes,
error is there. For remaining errors also same process.
okay, sir. I will try it.
You can try. Example 3. That is name error. Name error. I will provide a small program. Observe. Suppose my country equals to India. My country equals to India. Next, print my country. Suppose immediate statement I am writing. Suppose after 10 statements or 20 statements, you are writing that one. After 10 or 20 statements, you are writing that one. Just assume after 10 or 20 statements.
Okay.
What will happen? Next. Just a minute. Hello, Python. How many outputs are there in this small program?
3, sir.
3 outputs. One is
Yes, sir.
my country, India. Hello, Python.
Hello.
I am a Python programmer. Run module. India. Hello, Python. I am a Python programmer. Suppose mistakenly I used country instead of country. It is runtime error. It blocks it stops the execution. It interrupts the execution. If I execute this program, how many outputs? No outputs, I think. No outputs now.
Yes, sir.
Now provide the exception handling code for this one. Provide the exception handling code.
Try. My country.
Try.
Yes.
Try. Print my country. Print
After that,
my country. Next.
accept. Accepts.
Accept block. Print. This is meaningful message.
Print.
Suppose what is that one? Name error.
Yes. Name error.
Error. Due to incorrect identifier. Due to
Yes, sir.
incorrect identifier. Next, remaining code. Now, save. Suppose my country. Now I think no error. You can get 3 outputs. India. Hello Python. Next, I am a Python programmer. Run module. India. Hello Python. I am a Python programmer. Suppose if you have name error, what will happen? Observe.
Name error.
We already inserted that exception handling code. Run.
Yes.
Observe. First one, name error, not providing output. Name error, blocked. Second output, hello Python. Third output, I am a Python programmer. Okay. Now we handled name error now.
Yes, sir.
See, in this way only you can handle remaining error. Now I explained it. Exception handling in Python programming. Okay, now?
Okay, sir.
Now I am going to close the today's session. Tomorrow we will discuss Python regular expression. Important one, regular expression for searching strings. Any queries regarding this today's class, Savita?
No, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. We'll meet tomorrow, same time,